Hi everyone, welcome back. This is Deborah. Today I'm doing some more in my ideas book. I did this whole sheet and I think this was something that I had for some reason, maybe for my sewing or something. I don't know actually, but it's just a clear sheet so you can put it over something and you'll still see the stamps. So I actually probably don't want to call that as that, so I'm just going to say as backgrounds. And I'm now going to do another page in the book for that. So let's go to page 4. Now I don't actually like that page there, so I'm going to have to, because I wanted to put this on the book page. I suppose I'm hiding the fish. I'm not great. Fish creep me out a little bit, to tell you the truth. I don't suppose you can see the fish that much. I thought it might look nicer if it was just on here. And you're probably thinking, why did she buy a fish book if she's creeped out by fish? And the answer is because I wanted a thick book and this was the one that was available. Now I have an issue because I can see the lines on this page that somebody's been drawing or something. So that's actually going to come off. I'm just going to run my craft knife down the side and pull this off. And then I will do the same with the next one. If it didn't work, let's try and see if it worked. No, not quite. So just lightly running the knife down. So if you press too hard, you'll go through to the page on the next, the next page, and you don't want to do that. And I'm just leaving it like that. I don't mind that look. And then this will go down here. So this will become page 4 we're up to, aren't we? So my little card will say 4 and 4, because that's the same thing. So I think this will be my sideways belly band here. So I'm going to use that. This is one that I made with my stamps ages ago. I need a page for it to go on, so perhaps this page here. I need to cut this one too. It's a bit too big to go across. Let's just chop a little bit off it, and I'll come back later and I'll put the explanation in, and I'll also put the something in there, so there'll be more than one thing on this page. So this becomes page 5. So where is my belly band? Oh, it's under B. I've already stuck it in, haven't I? B for belly band. Here it is here. And that will be on page 5. And the other thing I have to go is go to my postage stamps. So that's P. Postage stamps. Now, I use postage stamps for lots of things. So I'm just going to put the pages on here so that I know which page to turn to look at what I've done. I don't know whether I'll put belly band 5. Yeah, I think I will. Actually, I've changed my mind. I'm going to put belly band, page 5 on that one. So at least I know if I'm looking at postage stamps what I'm going to find when I turn the page and find it. So I've done a double, or I'm going to do a double Rita Donnelly flip, which starts with a piece of paper that is twice as long as it is high. So in my case it's 8 by 4. Score it in half, and then we do the fold down on both pages. I have taken some paper, some more of the Tim Holtz paper, and I have put it on the back so that I can put my Rita Donnelly flip on. This is the double one that I've made, and that goes in the corner here. So you start by just putting the glue on the horizontal or the straight ones, so the horizontal and vertical. You don't put glue on the diagonal. That's how I remember how to do it. And then it just goes around here. Now if you want your paper up the other way, then you put your paper on the bottom so it hugs the bottom of the page, not the side. But I wanted to see these men as I open it, so I've put mine hugging the side. So this is page 6, and I've cut this a bit short, but I'm still going to use it because I don't mind that it's a little bit shy of the page. Now the reason that I'm using a piece of scrapbooking paper this time is for strength, because this particular item I want to do, I want to show the different steps in it basically, because I think it would be useful when you're looking back at it to actually have the steps of what you've done. So again, just lining this up with the page at the top, and I'm leaving the bottom bit here blank. Doesn't matter. I might put something on it later, but I probably won't. Actually, I might put the final pocket down here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a pocket. So just grabbing a piece of paper. Now, I know I created a pocket before, but this is a different pocket. This is actually going to be one that has a gusset on it. So to this end, you need to take some manila folder or some other cardstock. I'm using manila folder because it's cheap and it's easy to get, and I'm not using up my scrapbook papers in the process. Now this will go on the bottom of here. Just cut this down to size, and then I always notch it, so I need to put the instructions down on my piece of paper, on my little index card that I'll pop in here, and I will write those out afterwards. So that one will go down there, of course, because this is how you do it. And just putting some glue on. And then I need 2 for the sides, so I'll just see how these are going. I'll chop this bit in half. Probably have to cut it down a little bit. It might be a bit too big. So there'll be one here. Let's put that on for a start. And because all this is hidden behind the pocket, I'm going to put the sample up the top here. I just want to get the pocket down first. And then this will go down here. And I should have notched it before I put it in. So I'm just going to quickly notch it. I'll just eyeball it and put a notch in it before it finishes sticking down. That's roughly okay there, I think. And I'm going to push it under here, because they're those pages that I took out and used them for something else before I decided that I was using the book to do this project with. That's okay. And you can see now that that's quite a big, you know, thick sort of pocket in there with lots and lots of space, which is the idea behind having the gusseted pocket. So I'll be writing that on a card and popping that in there along with something else in a moment. But I'm going to take another piece of this card. I've scored it down the middle, so I'll have to write all those instructions on. And just want to, doesn't matter how wide it is, and it doesn't have to be the same width on both sides, but you can just chop that off if you like. You can see I've got one side small and one side big. So for the purposes of this, I'll just trim that down a little bit, and then I'll notch it. And up here, I'm going to do the little sample piece so that you can see what's behind the pocket here. So I'll cut a couple more that are the same size, and I will trim them down as well. Notch them. Miter them, I mean. I always miter them. Doesn't create as much bulk in the thing, and if you don't remember to do that, then maybe put that in your instructions. I'm just going to create a little faux one here so you can see what happens down here. Stick it down as a starting point, and then one on one side. Line up those edges. and then one on the other side. Have to turn it up the other way so it faces inward. And then you've got a little sample of what's happening down here. Now, just to take that a step further, now I've put that little sample down there, I'm going to put a faux pocket. I'm going to put a pocket on the bottom that I can fold down and see that mechanism, and then up here I'm going to make sure that it won't keep flopping open, just so all this doesn't get caught and come apart as you're going through your book. So we'll start with a piece of paper, any paper. I've got this little bit left over, which is a perfect size. Look at that, absolutely perfect. Now, because I want it on the edge down here, I'm going to use a piece of washi for that, and then I also need to cut it down so that it is, so maybe 3.5 inches would be a good size. I could use this side, but I like the stripe contrasting against the floral, so that's what I'm going to use. So my first step will be to put the notch in, just eyeballing that. How's that? Not too bad. And because this will be flipping down, I will actually ink this edge as well. And that'll be sitting there. And then I want to get a piece of tape. Actually, I might have to put that into a paper clip to clip it on so that it doesn't keep falling. So in fact, the size of this would be 5 1/4. I'll just mark that with my pencil to make it easier for me to see where that's got to go. Right, so I've got my paper clip and my washi. I may have to cut this down a tad more. Just give it another little haircut. So I'm just cutting it so that it fits at the top of the page, because I want to put a paper clip on it, and then I can get some washi down there. So the paper clip I'm using is one of these little itty bitty Tim Holtz ones. To get some more, I'm running out of those. And then I'm going to just get to the page, not the next one, and clip this on here like that. And then I want to put the washi down on it. Now I want to make sure that when I put the washi on it, that I'm sticking it underneath on the actual page. I don't want to catch this part in it. So now if I want to look at what the sample is, I can just pull it back like that and have a look at it, and then pull it up and put the paper clip back on. So the other thing I will do is I'll just grab one of these, I'm leaving them on the ring, because if I take them off the ring, they'll probably just go everywhere. And as luck would have it, that's the perfect size. So I don't even need to take that paper clip off actually. See, I can just flip it up like that, save pulling the paper clip on and off. So when you're making yours, I would suggest that you put your things in so that it fits perfectly in there. I've just taken a couple of mils off either side of my card, so now it will slip in, and then I can just, I actually might take a little bit off the bottom as well, because I don't want it to get underneath that paper clip, and it won't make any difference at all to the finished product. Let's just put this in here and then slip that over under there, and then you've got your sample. Now we'll come back later and put something in this pocket here, and also need to write on that. So the next thing I'm going to do is I want to use this one that I did the other day and write a description of how I did that, but because I don't like the fish, I thought I would pull some of my typewriter paper, typing book paper out, and use it, just so I don't have to look at the fish things. But of course, if you like your book page, if your book you've chosen, you wouldn't have to do that. just because I chose this one, I have to go and cover the fish up now. So that's pretty easy. That's just putting in something that I like, and now I can, I think I glued it all down. That's okay. I don't mind that I glued it all down. I just like it. I wanted it in my book, so there you go. I have to fix this gluing bit up on the side though. Actually, I might run some washi down there to hold that. So this will be page 7. Now, it just so happens that in my stash that's sitting on my table, I've been doing a bit of a clean out. I found this little piece of vintage wallpaper that I have left over. And I think that that's probably going to be perfect. It's a little bit short, but I can run some washi on top and bottom afterwards. At least that would get it down, and I can start working on the plan that I've got for this. This is just a picture from a book. So what I'm going to do is going to start by cutting it down here. I'll keep this bottom piece. I can use it for something else. And I'm also going to keep the top piece too. Actually, no, I probably won't, because I want to cut round the head. This is a good image to cut around because there's not much fiddly fussy cutting. It's fairly, you know, straightforward. It's fairly round, and therefore it's not, doesn't have any sort of feathery bits sticking out. I didn't realise that when I chose it, but having cutting it out now, it's a good one to use. I want to do something that I did in a class last year, in one of the classes that I ran. Well, not exactly the same, but similar to what I did in that class. So I'm going to use flowers around her face, so that's hence the Tim Holtz things that are out. These ones are good because these curve. And then I've got some other little ones like this that are curved. And also, where's another one? Here, this one. This one. I just wanted to add some things on top of her head, like this. I might leave my bluebird. He's getting a little lost up there, but I still may leave him. Now with this one, I might cut that piece off there. So just chop around that leaf. I still use this bit, I just won't use it right here. And this one, which I can tuck under here. I'll just put some flowers around her head. My husband and I have been talking about whether or not we should hit the road and become grey nomads. Well, yes, it's going to be difficult with my craft, so I've been looking this morning as to what I could possibly do to include my craft as I go around Australia, but I'm not sure that that's going to be possible. I do know that some people craft, and I have seen people, you know, with tables outside set up and everything like that. But I not only have to craft, I have to make my videos and things as well. So, plus I've got 2 sewing machines that I would like to take with me. So I think it's going to be nearly impossible for me to go on the road crafting. Haven't given up on the idea just yet though. Not quite. Just thinking about it a little bit more to see what else I can do. I wonder if I need more on there. If you've got any ideas on how I can craft on the road, leave me a comment and tell me. I'd be interested to know what your solutions are. Maybe if I cut those 2 off, that would look all right there. Because not only do I have 1 sewing machine, I have 2 sewing machines and my overlocker. Of course, all my quilting supplies, I couldn't possibly leave those at home if I went. All my crafting supplies, you can see my dilemma. It's getting worse and worse. And what else have I got? Oh yeah, a few other things I need to take as well. You know how it is. and lots of things that need to be considered before I could even think about going on the road. Maybe I can put that one there. If I cut this little end off her, cut the leaf out. And not only that, of course, then we've got the trike. Have to take her along, won't I? And then he's got 3 bikes, which apparently all do different things, so therefore they would all have to come with us. And whatever else we have to think about taking. I can't see it happening. I don't know. It seems a bit impossible for us to do that with all the stuff that we have to take with us. I just wanted to put another thing on her head, but if you've got ideas, I was trying to think what else we'd have to take as well. Maybe I can use this same one. What do you think? Could I use that same piece up there? Possibly not. I could cut round the rows though. So I've got, my craft room's about the size of 2, medium-sized bedrooms. So I really can't see that we're going to be able to manage to take all of this stuff on the road with us. But we are talking about it. So stay tuned, you never know. Oh, and I wanted to say, I was out cycling the other day, last week, and somebody gave me a shout out. I wondered if it was one of the YouTube people, and no, it wasn't abusive. Sometimes I did get people screaming at me to get off the road, but not that I'm really on the road very much, but there are places where I don't have a choice. I have to be on the road to get, to a cycle path or something. And I was riding not far from home, and somebody gave me a big hello out the window. So if that was you, leave me a comment. I'd like to know. That was lovely. I was like, oh, somebody knows who I am perhaps. And then I was thinking, who could that be? And my only option was someone from YouTube. Okay, so I've given her a nice crown of flowers now. And I was thinking whether or not I was going to do another thing, but now she looks pretty with all her flowers on her head, so I probably won't. I do think the bluebird's getting lost, but I got some of the butterflies out. So I guess the idea of this is again with using images from book pages and enhancing them to make them, instead of just sticking them down, enhancing them to make them a bit different and a bit pretty. I don't know, I quite like that. I liked it before, even with the little hat, the little cloche that she had on her head. But I think I like her better now that she's got this crown of flowers. So I might have to try my other idea next, I think. Because I've got everything out to do the other idea, and now I haven't done it. The other thing I could do down the bottom here would be to put some of these flowers down. So I'd be hiding all of that thing down the bottom, wouldn't I? Let's see what other flowers I've got. Maybe, here's a thought. I've got some black and white ones on the other side. Maybe I'll use the black and white ones instead of the coloured ones to put down the bottom so it doesn't detract from her head, her crown of flowers. I think that might look good if I do something like that. This one's perfect for the corner. I've got my little cards and I'm just trying to find, because I haven't stuck them all in. I did make some more tabs, but I've not yet stuck them all into where they need to go. And then I'm going to say, how about I put flower headdress? Flower headdress. And that will be on page 8. So that'll be that one. And then I might just do one for flowers. I know I don't have one for flowers as yet. And then I'm just going to call this headdress. I don't know, has that got 2 D's in it? I don't know. Maybe I'm spelling that wrong. and page 8. Now I'm not sure if you want to see me write the little cards, so if you can let me know, that'd be good, I think. And then I'm also going to do wallpaper, because I do also have Tim Holtz wallpaper, but I wanted to write up so I can see where I've used the vintage wallpaper, and I'm just going to call that a background. Page 8. Yes, so let me know if you want to see me write the cards. I'm happy to do it off camera, and I probably will do some off camera, but if you let me know, at least then I'm up to it. I just can go, okay, I know what to do. Now, I did have one for paper dolls. I know I saw one here before. Paper dolls, here you go. So with the paper dolls, this one here, I'm going to say paper dolls on hangers. How about if I put that on hangers, and this is page 7. Okay, so that's that. And I also want to do another quick page. Now, it was suggested by somebody, and thank you, I can't remember who, but I will definitely go back and look at my comments and put something down in the description of this one. I'll also put the link to the playlist, and I need to go back to the first one I made and put the link to the other videos, like where I made the belly band, and you know, the video where I made the belly band, for example, because I didn't show you how I made that in this particular book. And I've done the second one, the one that came out on Sunday. I've done that, but I haven't done these ones yet, so I'll have to go, and I will do this when I put it up. Anyway, back to what I was saying. Gosh, I'm in a roundabout way today. It was suggested to me by one of the people who watched, thank you, trying to remember, not going to say a name because I'll probably get it wrong, that I put down the paper that I'm using in the book, just in case I want to reference that later. So this is going to be the next page, which will be page, what are we up to? Page 9. Let's put that up there so I remember. And I'm using this beautiful paper, which is from Maya Designs, called it's Miles Apart is the range, and the paper is, this particular one is called Thinking of You, and it's just divine. It's so pretty. So because of that, I am actually going to put down here, I don't know whether I should call it under paper, probably, otherwise I'm not going to be able to find it, am I? So papers I'll call it, and then I'm going to put Maya Design, and I'll just say Maya, and the range is called Miles Apart, and that'll be on page 9. So then of course I have to go back and add in some of the others that I've used. So probably the first time I used my Tim Holtz one, which is here, although that's not really a page number. So let's go to probably the one I was on, page 6. And this one is called Wallflower. So I'm just going to say TH for Tim Holtz. And Wallflower, and I know it's going to be out of order because it's 6, but I can write that again if I wanted to. And then I think that's all I've got so far, just for completeness. So let's move on now, and we'll do the next one. So I'm going to do a whole page. I've cut the size of the paper down. I was a bit worried about how big the book's going to get, but I just want to use the pretty papers. So we'll just work on the problem of the book getting too big at another time. I could actually rehouse it like I did with my travel journal when I pulled that apart, because I found that that was just too big, although that was difficult to write in, and I won't be doing much writing in this one, if any. So there's sort of like, I guess there's an upside to it as well, is that I just will stick it in and then maybe not use the, you know, I won't be using it as a journal as such. I wonder if I can do it with this one. Possibly. Let's just see if I can find a different one. Now I need a big one, lady that's got a big head. This is my clippings sticker book, one of the many that I own. Don't ask why, I just have a thing for them. Wondering about putting her in there, whether I should put something around her. I'm not sure, so maybe I'll do it off the page and then I can work it out. That might be a little difficult, but I'm up for it. Let's move the huge book out of the way. So the idea is that you take something like this. I've also done this with strips of words from a novel. It will work just as well with that. And you start with maybe the longer one. Let's see. I'm taking something that's meaningful. So this one says, it's a quote. It says, "We are ladies travelling alone." And this will sit here when I cut it out. When you take her hat off, she actually looks quite pensive, doesn't she? And then when I cover up her hat, I should say, I'm not taking it off. And I'm just going to put it down. I don't want to hide the first word too much, which is why maybe I do need to put this down a little bit. What I'll do, actually, I've got some washi. I'm going to stick the washi down where I want this to sit, here, and that way I'll know where my words need to go. I'll have to move it when I get some of the others in here, but that's fine. So I've got this one. This one says, "The girl is a loyal soul." Now I kind of wanted to come maybe here. Let's just grab a few more out and see if it's going to look all right. So I wouldn't use something like this which says, "Found himself in a strange land," because it's not applicable to the photo. You can, but no, I wouldn't use that. I'll use this one here which says, "All the confidence in the world," and it's another long one, so it's got to tuck in here. And I'm just overlapping it a little bit, and then the idea is to have, you know, it sort of like fan around the hat. I'm not going to make a tuck spot or anything out of it. This is just going to be a sample of what you could do. I have to put some glue under all of the little bits now that I've had to roll them all up to get her down, but that's fine. She looks much nicer now that I've cut the background away from her, I think. She's very pretty. Well, she's not pretty, but she's an interesting looking girl, shall we say that? This is one of the found relatives, so that's what I'm going to put down because I use these in a number of ways. I'm not sure what I'm going to say about this one. And I also need to put the page number down, which is page 9. Probably say "with headdress." So I'm going to say "clipping stickers as a crown," and that's on page 9. And I don't think I need to put anything else on there, do I? So I think I've pretty much finished that one. So that's some more, and I hope you enjoyed that, and I will come back with some more of this in coming videos. I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing tomorrow yet. Just depends what I feel like doing. Actually, I only do what I feel like doing on the day. So maybe my next project will be doing the cover, because I'm really sick of looking at those fish every time I shut the book. But for now, this is Deborah. Thank you very much for watching. Cheers.